Welcome back to the Current Electric High School Basketball Girls State Championship Preview Show presented by Cannon & Dunphy. I'm Mike McGivern alongside my co-host and my friend. He is Coach Sid from St. Francis. Tip-off for the first state semifinal in Division 5 is right around the corner. Stay with us here on My 24 for great high school girls basketball action all day long. Hey, Coach, let's break down this year's Division II semifinals. Tip-off is set for 1:30 today as Madison Edgewood takes on Rice Lake, followed by Tosa East against West De Pere. Madison Edgewood is the Division III state champions from last year. They moved up to Division II and right back in the mix. They're 27-1 overall, went undefeated in the Badger Small Conference, and they are coached by Laura Stavas. And she's been around a long time, has coached some really successful teams at Madison Edgewood.
She's got 30-plus years in, 500-plus career wins. Obviously, one of the most respected, successful coaches in the state.
It does a great job. In fact, I talked to a woman I used to work with that played for her at Madison Edgewood, and she said, look, she's gotten a little nicer. And I said, really? And because on the interview, she talked about trying to have more fun doing this. And this woman told me that when I played for her, we had to win all 4 quarters. And if we didn't win all 4 quarters, right after the game, she would take us into the gym in the basement of the school and have to run. And she said there are games that we would win by 40, but the subs would play the last quarter and they'd lose by 1. And immediately after the game, she got us in the basement to run line drills. And she goes, but from what I hear, she has softened just a little bit. Hey, Coach, the idea of moving from Division III because of the success you've had up to Division II, they haven't missed a beat in that.
No, and she's always challenges herself with a tough schedule. I believe their only loss is to Arrowhead, and it was a close loss. So she doesn't duck anyone. She wants to prepare her team for this time of year.
And she, in the interview, she talked about that move from Division II or Division III to Division II.
I mean, the challenge really is that you don't know the teams as well. I mean, we've been in D3 for such a long time that, there's a comfort zone with that. But we used to be in D2 years ago. So it's just getting the lay of the land again. And, we play a lot of different opponents from D1 all the way down to D4 that are really good programs that can challenge us in a variety of ways. So I think, they embrace the schedule that I kind of put together and it's really about just improving every day and you just want different opponents so you can different types of games so you can be ready for whatever's thrown at you.
She has coached a long time and there isn't anything she hasn't seen and been prepared for. And when she talked about some of the players that are leading Madison Edgewood, the ones that I thought she was going to talk about, Coach, she just mentioned and then talked a lot about some of the kids, the 5, 6, 7, 8 kids that are really making this team go and have had a great year to get them to where they're at.
Yeah, for them, obviously, statistically, Anna Miller, the point guard, who has a Milwaukee offer, and I'm sure she'll get many others, leads them with about 15.7, is about right around 36, 37 points from 3. Beanie Thompson has missed some time with the ankles, right around 15. And those two are only sophomores who were outstanding last year at state.
Coach, I'm sorry to cut you off. She talked about Beanie Thompson and said, we had to literally pull her off the floor. We said, don't bring your shoes to practice because you're not practicing today. And she said she might be one of the toughest girls that I have ever coached. Madison Edgewood takes on the Warriors from Rice Lake. Rice Lake comes into the game 23-5 overall record, 10-4 in the Big Rivers Conference, and they are coached by Darla Olson. Rice Lake has had some success over the years in both boys and girls basketball. It's a really good basketball program, Coach.
That's a tough conference. I mean, they finished behind Eau Claire Memorial, Hudson, 2 schools that are almost twice Rice Lake's size, and they were competitive in that conference.
They are led by Adeline Shepley, 25 points a game, and sophomore Addison Schmidt at 16 points a game. And Coach Olson talks a little bit about this year's team.
I think, first of all, I'd just like to start out by just saying how, we're really super proud of our players and the effort that it took to kind of make this historic season a possibility. I think we've had a lot of really good basketball teams come through Rice Lake that weren't able to achieve this. And I think our girls have just really put together a tremendous effort as a team and have played some great basketball down the stretch. So as coaches, we couldn't be prouder, and we're super excited about the opportunity to represent Rice Lake for the first time at the state tournament. So we have a squad of kids that I think are defined by just being really competitive kids. They have a great work ethic. They do all the ordinary things, but they do it with just a tremendous amount of effort and just extraordinary effort. So I think at this point, we're the number 4 seed. We like that, going in, being the underdog. We don't mind being there. And I think our kids at the same time aren't going to, they're going to go in willing to prove that, who we are and that we can play with anybody.
I love the underdog role, right? They're state semifinals, and she's able to say, look, we got the 4 seed. We're the underdog, especially to a program like Madison, Edgewood. Coach, before we get to a break, you and I have been around a long time. Years ago, if we were doing this show and there were 2 women coaches going against each other in a state semifinal game, we would say, wow, let's talk about that. And we don't need to do that anymore. There's such good women, quality high school basketball coaches in our state that we don't even need to really even bring that up, right?
No. If you can coach, you can coach.
100%.
And those, I'm not real familiar with Darla, to be honest, but I know Coach Stavnes, and we'll get to Coach Merg later. They can coach with anybody in the tournament.
Yeah, they really can. And I was really impressed with Coach Olson. In her whole interview talking about, how hard this team worked and how she's just so impressed with their work ethic every single day. And that's the reason a team like Rice Lake is at state. Guys, we're going to get to a break. Other side, we'll break down the other Division II matchup between Tulsa East and West De Pere. This is the Current Electric High School Basketball Girls State Championship Preview Show presented by Cannon and Duffy only on My 24.